So I have got the 45-inch cabinet mocked up here. It's I just again put this dry fit to hold this vertical so I can put this end on as we did with the other one. So we're going to glue and screw, take these apart, do both ends, and then we'll come back. I just don't know you don't want to waste time watching all this every time. But these are 23 inches wide because these are going to have a solid 1/4 inch plywood back on them. Alright, so where were we last night when we left off? I have the 42-inch base cabinet set to size. I have the 45-inch. We're starting to frame up here. Just measure the interior today. So everything's going to have to be 43.5. And I can't cut that, unfortunately, on my, well, I guess I could move it out farther, the table. 43.5, perfect. See, I need to put a stop block at the end of my miter fence, but I can only go about 42 inches before I run out of fence. These could be extended longer. Normally when you're making cabinets, you don't really need 42 inches. But what I've done is extended this out so I can put a clamp here. I've already clamped this piece on to hold it. And I'm going to measure my 43.5, I believe I said. It's the airborne dust that kills you, not the stuff that falls to the floor. I guess I've said that a million times. Okay, I'm going to test this. Just like the other units, I'm going to build angle iron, basically, braces for the top front corner, the back. One of them I cut narrower so that it's across the front face frame, that the face frame will cover it, but this will actually pull everything into shape, give us some structural strength. When you oppose one to the other, you get a lot more strength. You know, one pulls into one corner against the other. That'll straighten them right out like an I-beam. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you after I get them installed. There's no sense of wasting the time to show them. You saw this before. I put the toe kicks. I think I'm going to put the brace in the back though, in the toe kick, in with pocket screws this time, so I don't make the mistake of showing the pocket screws. I'm learning as I go along with these. I'm experimenting. So the screw heads in the other one I can always just fill with filler and it'll be just fine. Nobody will ever pay any attention to sand. So that's all. Just gonna do some structural work on this, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the
One thing I did want to show you is
how I've got this clamped so that it holds it rigid, holds it in shape. I can run my screw in here and holds it all together tight for me. Now I can work my way right down, aligning this, pulling it together. Because there's a little warp to it. How'd that get in there? And so on. Well, that's easy. Now one thing to note here is I've got my L bracket beam made for the front of this. This is the front of the cabinet. My face frames are going to be 2-inch. That's why I cut this to 1 3/4. So it'll be just shy. The face frame will cover it all. And that'll drop the screw right in here. And that'll be very rigid for the attaching the top. Because this is a single cabinet. This one sits all alone in the corner. The stove goes to the left of this. So I'm basically going to make the same structure in the back. To screw the top, screw it to the wall. I have to add this one in the bottom in the back to screw to, and I have to add this one in the front.
And this is the one that's gonna have the sliding door on it, so I'm gonna have to come up with something creative for that. I think I'll just make the face frame this way, and then I'll put a panel on here. Make them separate of each other. All right, one more brace in the 45-inch cabinet. This is the island. No, this is the corner. I keep on getting these two screwed up. So we've got very strong angled plywood corners in this now to give it incredible structural strength, as light as possible. Now, all that's left to do with this one is I have to install that screw block along the back where I can tag it to the wall. I probably don't even need it. Just screw it at the top. But you never know. So I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put some pocket screws in it. And screw that along the back. I don't need anything else in the back. This will add the structural strength to that. And in the front I got to put the toe kick. So I'm going to pocket screw that board. You've seen me do that a million times. We'll come back. Just in case you haven't seen any of my other videos. Pocket screw drill bit looks like this. It's got the pilot hole, it's got the wider part of the drill for the head, it's got a stop for the depth gauge in the jig. So this just drills an angled hole to a specific depth, and you can put a hidden screw in here. That's the whole point of this. I'm just going to split the difference here for a second. Okay, that's right in the center. Do you notice I just balanced that one on my finger to guesstimate the center? Alright, now we're just going to guesstimate everything in between. And now these screws will be against the wall. Actually, these are going to be buried because the 1/4 inch back is going on this. The wife wants to make sure, because this is a lake cabin, she wants to make sure they're completely rodent proof, which I can't blame her on that. So this is a Kreg, K-R-E-G, and that's how those are made. So now we're just going to screw that along the back of the cabinet with some glue and these special square drive screws that go right down into the hole and suck you right down. All right, I guess I'll show you this operation. See my rot chair. Clean the dust out. Put a little bead of glue. I'm trying to avoid as much squeeze out as possible, so just a small bead. Small bead will do. Little on the end. Little on the end. Alright, Governor. So now, slip that guy right in and drop him right straight down on. Again, this one, I'm just going to use my thumb to set the depth at each one of these holes. I set the clutch light because I don't want to overdrive these, because you'll strip them out and they don't really go into the wood extremely far. So I'm just kind of like using it like almost like a little impact effect. And I'm just using my thumb again to hold it at the right depth. That's all there is to that. So I have the toe kick board. It's obviously cut to the right length because it just sits in there with a little bit of friction. right. This cabinet is done other than the back. I have to install a 1/4 inch back on it. I'm going to wipe up the excess glue, but you'll never see it. She's obviously upside down now. Duh. So, there's my basic cabinet. Right there, basic cabinet carcass. As I said, a lot of people might do the back different because, or what you could actually do is build it this way, and then drop in your 1/4 inch, yeah, why not? Drop in your 1/4 inch dress-up panel. You might have to put a cleat up this side, small cleat up each side, so you got something to brand it to. And then there you go. So that would be dressed up, but we don't really need to dress it up. I want to put the, I measured this to make 24 inches when I put the back on the, right flat on the back of this. So I'm just going to lay it over, and I'm going to brad nail 1/4 inch plywood back to the back. The back to the back. All right. I'm going to get that measured and cut, and then maybe we'll come back to that. All right. All right, so here we are, the status of this cabinet. I was going to put the back on it in the last scene, but I remembered that I wanted to put a fixed center shelf in it, because this is tucked back in the corner where you wouldn't be able to adjust the shelves anyway. So I just split the difference between the top and bottom. The wife has some big cookers and stuff that can tuck back in here. This is the one that's going to have the sliding door because it goes beside the refrigerator. Unfortunately, I forgot to put the dados in for the shelf, so I just added a couple of wooden cleats, which are, a cleat is just a strip that is screwed and glued to the other side of the cabinet, and then I just put screws in the 4 corners, which also pulled in the warped sides a little bit for me. So now I'm going to put the back on. I had to have my wife come out and help me cut another full piece of plywood for the shelves. So I've got to get that set back up to cut, and then we'll do that. The back is all cut to shape. It's a brand new one. I'm going to use the old glue. If I can find it, oh, there it is. It's not old glue anyway. It's just the glue I've been using first. Back a little ways from the edge. I had to put the ugly side, sorry, you just seen my back side. I had to put the ugly side of the plywood up on this one because the warp is, so I put the warp upward. It has a slight warp to it, so I wanted to get that. So it works with me with gravity, you know. All right. Now this looks like the pretty side. And I'm going to start it right in this corner, because that's the corner against the wall, and it's a little, my piece of 1/4 inch is a hair long, so I want to compensate for that. So I can just belt sand the other side off. See, this come out right perfect. This cabinet is very square. And the glue, of course, will attach it together. 5/8 brads. Going in off a little. Back that off a little bit. First, the glue again will do all our work. And now I just need to put a straight edge across the center here. I did mark. I did think I had to mark it. So I'm just gonna come this way up there. That's good. This will support the center of the shelf. By attaching it to the back. Right. Alright. So now this is just a little long here. I'm just going to wait till this dries up a little bit, and then we'll just hit that with a brad nailer. Turn out the brad nailer to the belt sander. Take that extra. But this cabinet is now ready for finishing. She has the back on. She has the shelves in. And that's my plan for a base cabinet. Now, when you put the face frame on this, you can also make sure you put a little cleat on it to grab the front of this plywood, but that plywood is extremely strong, especially with the back attached. If this was a cabinet you could get to, you could use your drilling jig, which I have it around here somewhere. It's nothing but a piece of a 1/2-inch plywood that I drilled a hole vertically every inch, which I just gauged it off in a piece of pegboard. And then you could make your shelves adjustable if you needed to. But as I said, this one's getting tucked in the corner. It's going to be extremely hard to reach through here to get things. So it's just beside the refrigerator, so it gives us a place where we slip the toaster and stuff out of the way when we're not using it on the top. So I thought I'd make this sexy sliding door just to be ingenious. I try to be ingenious. And so that is it for these two. My next project is the 5-foot snack bar, which is going to be 16 inches deep. So that's my next plan. And my wife wanted these cabinets totally closed off because, again, we close this camp off in the winter, and we do have a little bit of a mouse problem. They want to come in out of the cold, so she doesn't want anything crawling around through her pots and pans. And if the doors are all tight, which they will be, rodents won't get in there, and we won't have to store all our pots and pans and wash them every time we get up there. All right, pass for now. Well, guys and gals, I'm gonna cut this one short. I'm on my way this afternoon up to the lake. I've got to put in a shower, so we're gonna work on installing a shower at the lake. Let's see what we got here. Okay, top over there is a 30-inch upper cabinet. There's a 30-inch upper cabinet. There's the 24-inch center cabinet.
There is the tall skinny one for the refrigerator. The one that the 30-inch cabinet's sitting on is the one for over this 45-inch cabinet. That's all the wall cabinets. Then we got the corner cabinet that we had to cut in 2 pieces. We got the cabinet that goes by the refrigerator. We've got the island cabinet. The only box I have left to build is the drawer cabinet. And then I have that 5-foot 30-inch by 16-inch cabinet for the snack bar that's got to be built. So basically I just got 2 cabinets left to build. All closed. Alright guys and gals, my hair's a little messed up. I took a nap. I'm getting old. But thanks for watching Bob's Barn Workshop. Stay tuned. We're going to do that cabinet, that shower stall to the lake in the barn. It's a corner shower. It's pretty cool. It's got curved glass doors. Half of it slides around so that it doesn't swing out because there's like a Cape Cod kind of angled roof in there, and it would hit the roof. So let's go watch that. All right, guys. God bless. Take care. We'll see ya.